Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm Crystal Walker with Ask a Walker, and in today's video, we're going to discuss one of the biggest decisions you're going to face when moving to Northern Virginia. Should you choose Arlington or Fairfax County? I mean, you can't go wrong with either choice, but they offer different lifestyles. If you're moving to Northern Virginia and deciding where to live, chances are you're weighing your options and narrowing down exactly which region is going to be the best fit. Both of these counties have lots of pros and cons, and in today's video, we're going to tell you which area beats the other in some key categories. Now, because I've only lived in Fairfax County, I'm going to try my best to remain neutral. And honestly, I love Arlington, and it's definitely somewhere I consider living if it met some more of my key community needs. My husband and I used to think that we had moved to DC once our kids were a little older or when they graduated and moved out, but now we've actually decided that we're probably going to end up in Arlington. So I'm going to give you my unbiased opinion on what there is to love about both of these areas. All right, so let's break down everything you need to know so you can make an informed decision. And if there's something that I missed, please be sure to let me know in the comments. Now, if you have questions about relocating to the area, or if you want to chat about your specific situation, just click the link down in the description to schedule your perfect home consultation. We'll walk you through your options and help you find a perfect home for your needs. Let's get started with location, which is one of the most important factors when deciding between Arlington and Fairfax County. These two areas are neighbors, but the proximity to key areas like DC can make a huge difference in your commute and lifestyle. Arlington is located just southwest of Washington, D.C., directly across the Potomac River. I think of Arlington as more semi-urban than suburban because there's lots of condos and high-rises. And really, you just can't get any closer to D.C. than Arlington. While Fairfax County is located just west of D.C., depending on where you are, you could be anywhere from 7 to say 30 minutes from downtown DC. Fairfax County borders both the state of Alexandria and Arlington County and forms part of the massive suburban ring that is the Washington DC metro area. Some areas are going to be pretty close to DC, but Fairfax County is enormous, so there are going to be some of the areas to the west that could easily be 45 minutes to an hour away. Now, fortunately, DC is not the area's only employment hub. Yes, many people commute into the city for work, but just as many people commute in and around Northern Virginia, whether they work at the Dulles Tech Corridor, Tysons, Herndon, Vienna, or even Fort Belvoir. All of these areas are going to be in Fairfax County. Sure, your commute will be shorter from Arlington if you work in DC or at the Pentagon, but if you work in one of these other areas I mentioned, Fairfax County has it beat. Now, if you prefer a more urban feel with quick access to the city, then Arlington is probably going to be your best bet. But if you like a mix of suburban and rural charm, then Fairfax County has a lot to offer. All right, now that we've covered location, let's talk about something that might make or break your decision. That's going to be home prices. Now, last year, the median sales price of homes in Arlington was around $740,000. But honestly, that number is quite deceiving. In fact, if you ask most Northern Virginia residents what's keeping them from living in Arlington, they say it's going to be the cost of homes. See, Arlington has a lot of condos and some townhouses too, which artificially bring the average down. However, realistically, you're looking at a median sales price of $1,280,000 for single family homes. In fact, you'd be hard pressed to find many townhomes in Arlington with a $740,000 budget, especially if you wanted more than 2 bedrooms. In comparison, Fairfax County is huge, which means you can find a lot of different property types at nearly every price point. The median sales price in Fairfax County is going to be slightly lower at $730,000, but like Arlington, the median sales price for a single family home is going to be closer to $1.2 million. However, if your budget is less than $1 million, there's still a lot of options in a multitude of areas. And unlike Arlington, a budget of under $1 million doesn't preclude you from buying a single family home. Fairfax County offers countless options with a budget anywhere from $730,000 to $740,000. You can find split level homes in Springfield or Burke, Ramblers in Alexandria, or Colonials in Herndon. They're going to be 3-level, 3 to 4 bedroom townhouses throughout most of the county at that price point. And depending on where you're looking, you might even get a 2-car garage. Typically, buyers have 3 things in mind when searching for a home: location, property types, and budget. We've covered those, but if you've got kids, there's a 4th consideration: schools. North Virginia has some incredible schools, and Arlington and Fairfax County public schools are among the best in the state. Both Fairfax and Arlington are homes to some of the top-rated schools in the entire DC metro area. Since Arlington is quite a bit smaller, there are going to be fewer schools to review, which leads to less variation in its overall ratings. Arlington has 3 area high schools that service the entire county, while Fairfax County has closer to 30. 2 of Arlington's 3 high schools are going to be highly sought after, and buyers often limit their search to schools that are going to be zoned for either Yorktown or Washington Lee high schools. While Fairfax County, on the other hand, easily has 10 to 12 high schools that most would consider top-tier schools. And there are another maybe 5 or so that, while they aren't highly sought after, they're going to be better than average schools with solid reputations. Each year, U.S. News ranks the top high schools in Virginia, and 7 of those top 10 schools are in Fairfax County. Fairfax County has 11 of the top 20 ranked high schools in the state, while Arlington has 2 ranked at numbers 12 and 20. I tend to only talk about high schools because the schools in the area are like pyramids. There's a high school at the top, then the middle schools in the middle, with elementary schools at the bottom. Several elementary schools feed into that one middle school, which ultimately feeds into the high school at the top of the pyramid. Typically, the schools at the bottom of the pyramid fall in line with the schools that they feed into. So a highly rated high school often means the same at the lower levels. Overall, I feel you can't go wrong with either of these school districts, but I do give a slight edge to Fairfax County just because of its size. With so many schools, I mean, there are over 140 elementary schools and, as I said, 28 high schools, you can narrow down your search to find a school that offers exactly what you want. So if you're interested in a language immersion program, Kent Gardens and Fort Hunt Elementary may be a good fit. For certain sports, for example, only a handful of high schools in Fairfax County have a crew team. So if you have a kid who's interested in rowing, or perhaps they're interested in joining the junior ROTC, or they may want to pursue an IB diploma over taking advanced placement courses, Fairfax County has you covered there. Fairfax County has so many options, and because there's also so much housing variety, you can likely find a property type you're most interested in near a school that checks off everything you're looking for. Now, honestly, if you're interested in nightlife of any kind, Arlington's gonna win hands down. Arlington is probably the closest thing to a city you're gonna find in Northern Virginia. So if you want a place that you can bar hop or hang out with lively events on the weekends, check out Arlington. There's also shopping in the fashion center at Pentagon Row and Shirlington Village. There's loads of historical sites and points of interest. Of course, you have the Pentagon, Arlington Cemetery, and the Marine Corps Memorial. There's hiking at the Potomac Overlook Regional Park. You can also walk the Mount Vernon Trail, which you can take all the way from Arlington to George Washington State, which is in Fairfax County. But don't sleep on Fairfax County, because aside from our non-existent nightlife, there's still plenty to do here. For starters, we have some of the most beautiful parks in the region. You're gonna wanna check out Great Falls National Park because it has the most incredible waterfalls you've ever seen. And if you're a serious shopper, then there's Tyson's Corner Center. It's a massive mall with nearly 300 stores. And then there's also the Tyson's Galleria, which is gonna be a considerably smaller mall, but it has your higher end retailers like your Gucci's and Chanel's, things of that nature. And what we lack in nightclubs, we do have the Wolf Trap Theater, which is an incredible outdoor amphitheater which hosts some incredible concerts every spring and summer. Whether I'm with my husband or my girlfriends, I love to pack a picnic, my favorite charcuterie, local wine, and sit back with a blanket and enjoy a concert under the stars. You cannot beat it. Good times. So there you have it. Depending on where you work, it's a toss-up on who wins when it comes to commute and location. I give Fairfax County an edge when it comes to homes and schools. There are more options for housing, your dollar's gonna stretch further, and the same goes for the schools. There are just more options for schools at every grade level. Now finally, if you're interested in nightlife at your doorstep, you can't beat Arlington. But if you like the arts or nature, you'll be good in either location. So which county is right for you, Arlington or Fairfax? There's no right or wrong answer. It all depends on your lifestyle, commute, and personal preferences. Drop any questions you have in the comments. We would love to hear from you and keep the conversation going. And if you want to meet one-on-one, click the link in the description to schedule your perfect home consultation. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.